There comes a time in your life, whether it's after high school or college, when you'll need to go on job interviews. It's one of the most stressful parts of finding a job. You're going to see 6 different people interviewing for a position as a sales representative for a travel agency run by Ms. Baker. Your job is to decide who should be hired. To help you make your decision, you've been given a resume and an evaluation form for each applicant. But before I begin, let's consider these interview do's and don'ts. Can you think of anything you should do before going on an interview?
Find out about the job?
That's one of them. You not only need to find out about the position you're interviewing for, but also learn all you can about the company you're interviewing with.
Oh, and dress nice.
Exactly. Dress properly. A useful guideline is to dress as you would for an important day on the job. Also, arrive for the interview on time, but don't arrive too early. Give yourself 10 to 15 minutes to adjust to a new environment. And make sure you arrive for the interview alone. You should also introduce yourself successfully. Start with a smile. Have direct eye contact with the interviewer and say, "Hello, I'm first name, last name. It's a pleasure to meet you." Finally, finish with a firm handshake. During the interview, be complimentary and upbeat. Say only positive things about your present or former employer. If you say negative things, the interviewer will assume you'll do the same to them. Oh, stay mentally alert. A successful interview requires extraordinary attentiveness. Project enthusiasm, dependability, energy, and confidence. Don't be forgotten as soon as you walk out the door. And finally, say goodbye successfully. This is a lot like saying hello. Start with a smile, keep direct eye contact with the interviewer and say, "This sounds like a great opportunity. I look forward to hearing from you." And finish with a firm handshake. I know this is a lot to think about, especially if you're nervous, but trust me, these interview do's will help you to have a successful interview. But before I forget, there are some interview don'ts we really should go over. Don't wait over 30 minutes for the interview. This is too long to wait. You could become upset and project it in the interview. Try rescheduling instead. Also, don't wear a coat, hat, or other outdoor clothing into the interview. This separates you from the interview and makes it appear as though you want to leave. And don't wear sunglasses. You want to maintain direct eye contact with the interviewer at all times. Don't address the interviewer by his or her first name. Don't smoke or chew gum. Don't interrupt the interviewer. Don't look at your watch during the interview. And finally, don't read any documents or pick up any objects from the interviewer's desk. That's just rude and irritating. Keeping these suggestions in mind, watch the interviews and rate each applicant. Then choose who you would hire to be Ms. Baker's sales representative.
Is this Miss Baker's office?
Yes, I'm Miss Baker. Is my secretary out there?
Oh, well, I didn't see her, so I just thought I'd walk in.
And your name is?
Oh, I'm sorry, Craig Byers.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Byers, but your appointment isn't for another 15 minutes.
I know, but you see, I thought the sooner I get in, the sooner I get out. You see, interviews make me a little nervous.
All right, we'll try and get this done as quick as we can. Is there someplace you have to be?
Well, actually, yes. I have to pick up my wife from the doctor's office in about an hour.
You're married?
Oh, yes, married with a 9-month-old daughter.
I remember when my daughter was that age. So tell me, what interests you about this position?
Well, the thing that interests me most is the stable, long-term employment that I think this business could offer me. I'm looking for a job where I can work 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, so I can know my schedule, so I can spend time with my family. At the bank, I had to work some hours here and some hours there. It was hard to even make ends meet. I even got called in to work on Saturdays.
You realize with this position you may have to work one Saturday a month.
Oh, that's fine. I don't mind working Saturdays, just so long as I know in advance that it's scheduled.
That seems reasonable. So tell me, what makes you better for this job than some other person that might walk through the door?
Well, my best quality is my reliability. If I say something will be done, it will be, and in on time. Plus, I'm already familiar with your secretary's computer filing system out there. We have the same one at the bank. And I have excellent people skills. Hiring somebody with experience like that is an asset because that's one less skill you have to train.
Good point. If you didn't have to work, would you, or would you do something else?
To tell you the truth, I'd rather be at home playing with my daughter than going to work.
Well, Mr. Byers, it's been nice talking to you.
Thank you, Miss Baker. I hope to be hearing from you soon.
May I help you?
Good morning, Miss Baker. I'm Greta Larson. Thank you very much for meeting with me today.
I've been expecting you, Miss Larson. Won't you have a seat? I was looking over your resume earlier. It's quite impressive.
Thank you.
But I noticed your past employment hasn't dealt much with the public.
This is true, but that's why working with you be such a great opportunity to get more experience in dealing with the public.
What else interests you about this position?
Well, unlike my previous positions, this company offers the chance for upward mobility, and I like the idea of being employed by somebody who could eventually promote me.
So, are you planning long-term employment with us?
I was hoping to stay long term.
What makes you better suited for this position than someone else?
Well, I noticed when I walked in that you have an extensive computer system, and I have excellent computer skills. I've done some computer programming, and I also typed student papers while I was in college.
If you didn't need money, would you still be working, or what would you do?
I think I'd still be working, yes. I often find that I'd rather be at work than home during my free time. Working gives me a sense of accomplishment as well as helping me feel like I've contributed to something.
Well, thank you for your time, Miss Larson.
This is a great opportunity, Miss Baker. I look forward to hearing from you.
Yes,
Miss Baker, Jeffrey Cohen has just arrived. Should I send him in?
it's about time he showed up. Send him in.
Miss Baker? Jeff Coleman, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Unfortunately, I was detained at my present employment and couldn't get here on time.
Then I'll make this short so we don't waste your time or mine.
I appreciate that.
Where are you working now?
I am presently employed as a waiter at the Texas Steakhouse downtown.
And how do you like it?
I like what I'm doing now, but I need a change.
How do you think being a waiter will help you with this position?
Well, I serve many different people all day long. I listen to their complaints, their compliments. You have to be ready for anything. Not to mention my sales are better than anyone else there. Let's say someone's coming for just a steak. By the time they leave, they've had an appetizer, a dessert, and have left me a nice tip.
Why should I hire you for this job?
Because I believe I'm the best you're gonna find. Every job I've had has either been in service or sales. I'm familiar with computers, both Windows and Macintosh, and to be quite frank, people love me.
You seem pretty confident. If you didn't need to work, if you didn't need this job, would you still be working or would you be doing something else?
Well, let's be honest with each other. I'm not gonna insult you by throwing out this fake answer that I know you probably want to hear but know isn't sincere. No, I don't like to work. Are you kidding me? No one likes to work. We work because we have to. And as long as we have to work, we might as well try to make the best of it. And I know I'm going to like this job.
What interests you about this position?
The travel perks, of course. I want to see the world. Just kidding. I just really like working with people.
Well, I think I have all I need to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the interview. And remember, I'm a hard worker and will do everything I can to make this place successful.
Baker, I'm Chris Addison.
Nice to meet you. Please have a seat.
Is this your granddaughter?
No, actually, that's my daughter. Why don't we get started?
Super. Okay.
Why have you applied here? What interests you about this position?
I applied for a couple of different reasons. The main reason being location. My apartment is just a couple of blocks away, and I don't have a car, so I needed to be within walking distance of my employment. But the second reason is that this is an office environment, and it's so much better than traveling in a cleaning van.
Cleaning van?
Well, my last job I was cleaning houses with another lady. Again, my transportation, limiting my choices of employment.
I was reading your resume and you don't have much office experience, which I feel is really required for this position.
Office experience? I have office experience. I cleaned for Hutchinson and Rowe and for David P. Wright. He's a CPA.
But that's not
But
exactly...
I'm very thorough in what I do and very organized. And as far as your computer setup out front, there's not really anybody around anymore my age who doesn't know how to use a computer.
Well, you're probably right. Something you haven't mentioned is how well you deal with the public.
I suppose you mean clientele. I don't see why I'd have a problem. I've always been able to talk to people.
What about dealing with complaints?
Oh, complaints, that's easy. If anyone's ever upset, I just keep them talking by asking direct questions. You know, they usually calm down.
Let's assume that you don't need the money, that you didn't need to work. Would you still be working or would you be doing something else?
I don't know if I would or I wouldn't. Work is just something I've always had to do. I had a paper route as a kid, and in high school I worked part-time. And right now I'm working full-time, the cleaning business I mentioned earlier. So I guess work is just something I've always had to do. I suppose I'd keep working.
Well, I think that will be all. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Miss Edison.
Oh, call me Chris. It's been nice meeting you too. Okay, you have a good day.
Thanks.
Okay.
Please send in Randy Devitt.
Give me just a moment.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm fine. Yourself?
Good, good. Fantastic.
Tell me, why should I hire you for this job?
A, I've traveled almost everywhere myself. Personally, I think that expresses some interest in the travel industry. Don't you? B, I already have experience being a salesman helping my father sell appliances last summer. C, I spend a ton of time on my computer. I do a little programming, some website design. You should check out my Easy. There's some totally funny stuff on my page. Do you want the address?
I'm sure it's a lovely webpage, Mr. Devitt, but I don't think I'll be needing the address.
And did I mention that I'm always on time and I can work whenever you need me?
You can work anytime I need you, and you're always on time. Are you sure you want to promise that?
It's not just a promise, it's a guarantee. I'm used to a schedule that constantly changes. I sleep when I'm tired, I get up when I'm not. I'm completely flexible to whatever and whenever you need me.
Why this job? Why not apply somewhere else?
I want to be someplace with commissions. With commissions, I can make a killing.
Are you only interested in making money?
The only reason any of us are working is to make money.
So you're saying if you had all the money you need, you wouldn't be working?
No, I wouldn't be working. Listen, the only reason you're here is because A, you like to travel, and B, you wanted to make money. You can't blame me that the only reason I'm working is to make money. You're doing the same thing. As long as I can sell, what do you care, And I can sell.
I think that will be all, Mr. Devitt.
Alright, I'll get out of here then. But remember, I can sell.
Hi,
Hi, Miss Baker. Nice to meet you. This is my friend Sarah Wilson. I apologize for bringing a friend, but we're on our way out of town and it was on the way. I didn't think it would be too much trouble. Oh, and I'm Rebecca Thomas.
Sarah, why don't you have a seat here? Rebecca, why don't you sit here? We'll get started. So, Rebecca, give me some reasons why you should be hired for this job.
Reasons I should be hired. I was an excellent geography student. Name the city and I'll tell you where it is. This can be extremely beneficial information when making travel arrangements. And I'm really good at memorizing anything in fast. Airport codes, check this out. O'Hare, ORD, LaGuardia, LGA, Los Angeles, LAX. Oh, you remember that time that I had to remember those basketball players?
I think I understand.
Well, I'm also highly organized. If you check my resume, I was involved in many different activities at the same time, which means I had to be organized and be able to balance my time and energy to be successful at all of them at the same time.
Those are very important qualities to have. What interests you most about this job?
Well, I wanted to have a job that I enjoy. And because this is my first full-time job, I really didn't want a highly horrendous experience where I'd end up burned out at the age of 20. And this seems in a more relaxing environment, and I get to meet people, and I'm not locked up in some office, cut off from the rest of the world.
This isn't necessarily a relaxed environment. We work hard here,
Well,
too.
I didn't mean it that way. What I meant was that, the pace of the day seems relaxing.
If for some reason you didn't need money, if you didn't need to work, would you continue to work, or what would you do?
Well, I like to keep busy. I probably work a little, some, but I like to break up my day with different activities.
Is it hard for you to pay attention to one specific task?
Well, it's not that it's hard for me to pay attention to certain tasks, it's just that I really don't like to.
Nice meeting you, Miss Thomas.
Thanks, Miss Baker.
Oh, and you too, Miss Wilson. Thank you for coming today.
Nothing to do with you, Joseph.
You realize with this position you will have to work at least one Saturday a week, a month.
That's okay. Just take it from your.
You should also introduce yourself.
Go ahead.
You should also introduce yourself successfully.
Action.
You should also introduce yourself successfully. I am so sorry.
And
I'm okay.
and action.
What line am I starting on? But I work. Yes. So that's easy. If someone's ever.
Start right with that line. That's
Okay.
easy.
I mean, when I was little, I had a paper route. I'm so sorry.
I have experience being a salesman, helping my father sell appliances last summer. Can I do that again?
Project
Action.
Project.
Action.
This company offers a chance for upward mobility. What is wrong with me? Sorry. What's wrong with me? Why do I always have this?
Cut. Lovely, Sarah.
We had the same one at the bank.
Line.
I also, it was hard to even make ends meet.
I even had to work some Saturdays. Just take that line.
I serve many different people all day long. I
Pause. That's okay.
I'm the best you're gonna find.
That's okay. Take it from that line, Sharon.
Thank you.
That can be extremely
Start right there. That can be extremely.
If you check my resume, I was involved in many.
Pause. Go back. Okay, I'm gonna have you do it again. But you need to end with a smile.